Okay, so I just posted some pictures, kind of brought back a bunch of old memories. Uh, they were my first job that I ever took. It was spring of 1983. I worked for a company called Gulf Coast Landscaping. It's at 8900 Back Beach Road. Uh, the owner of it was Julius Poston. I went to work for him, and whenever I was in school, I would put in about 32 hours a week with him. Whenever school wasn't in, I worked 6 days a week and averaged 100 hours a week. Of course, we were all over the beach. We done huge landscapings. I helped lay sod at Edgewater Resort. I helped landscape Edgewater 2. I helped set palm trees there at Edgewater 2. Done landscaping at Sunset. Done landscaping at the condominiums. I done the landscaping on Barnacle Bay. I helped build and done landscaping at the Wizard Fun Factory. We done landscaping all down around Fort Walton. We done landscaping for doctors, lawyers, everything. The boardwalk out on Panama City Beach. I helped do all the landscaping at the boardwalk whenever it was built. So I put in a lot of time over the course of 2 years with him. One of the first run-ins I had with the law was with him. I was working a lot of hours, and they come in and told him that he had an underage employee and that I couldn't be working there and putting in that many hours, that he had to cut my hours back. So he cut me back, and I told him, I said, well, Julius, I said, if you cut me back, I can't do what I need to do and save money for school and be able to buy my clothes and all and books and everything I need for school. So I'm going to have to quit. Now find me a job closer to home. And he told me, no, I'll put you back in the field. So he put me back in the field, and probably a month and a half later, we had just got down to Fort Walton doing a job. And Julius called Austin, and I remember the bag phone that Austin had. That thing took up the whole center of the seat between me and Austin. But he called Austin, which was my foreman, and told him to bring him back. Bring me back to the shop. So we come all the way back to the shop, and he said, Julius wants to see you. There's some guys want to see you in the office. So I went into the office, not exactly knowing, but there was two guys there with suits on, and they put in to tell him that I couldn't work but X amount of hours. And he said, Julius said, look, you talk to him. He's a grown man. If you want him to know something, you talk to him. So they told me that I couldn't work but 32 hours a week. I was only 16 years of age, and that was all I was allowed to work. And I told them real quick, like I said, no, I'm not. I'm a grown man, and I'll work the hours I want, when I want, and how I want. And you're not going to dictate to me how many hours I'm going to put in. I said, I'm a grown man. I'll do what I want. Well, they wanted to get hostile with me and start mouthing off. And I looked at Julius and I said, Julius, do you need a contractor? He said, I'm always hiring contractors, son. I said, well, I'm opening up my own business. And told him how much I was going to work for him. I can't remember now, but basically I told him, this is how much I'll work for you per week, and you'll just pay my business. Well, then I remember the two guys just got real hot about that, me wanting to open up my own business. And Julius got mad and said, well, look, if he's opening up his own business, I need help, and I'll hire him as a contract landscaper. So then they got kind of mad and started pitching a fit with Julius. And Julius told him, said, look, it's just best if you get up and get out of my office and send Austin back in here, because Austin needs to take Calvin back to the job. And I never heard anything else out of the labor board about it. Like I said, I worked for Julius 2 years, and during the summer months, I averaged close to 100 hours a week. So anywhere between 80 to 100 hours a week. We would work from daylight to dark during the summer, and that was just how it went. And that was my first job. Was working for Gulf Coast Landscaping at 8900 Back Beach Road. The place don't exist no more. I can still remember all the botanical gardens that we put in. We put in a huge botanical garden. He built a great big old lake with an island on it. I today still suffer on this shoulder. I have pigmentation loss from where I carried creosote telephone poles. We'd cut them in 8-foot sections and carry them and build a bridge. And I was young and dumb and stupid. I was hot, so I took my shirt off and threw that creosote poles up there on my shirt, up there on my shoulder, and carried them all day like that. And that creosote, at the end of the day, I was just burnt, bad burnt, all down there and all down my back and side. And because of that, I don't have no pigmentation in that skin no more. But that was my first job. Some fond memories.